Hi, Alicia Willoughby, orthopedic and women's health physical therapist, and this video is to teach you how to screen yourself for an abdominal separation. The technical term, if your abdominals are separated, is a diastasis rectus, and what it is that your six-pack muscle, which runs down the front of your body from your pubic bone up to your breastbone here, has opened up or stretched the connection in between the two sides of the belly. Now, it's normal at the end of third trimester of pregnancy. Almost every woman has it as a way of accommodating that growing belly. And then postpartum, what we want to see is that those two sides of the abdominals start to rebound back together. And then what we need to look at is what is the resting position of those abdominals after they have come back together. I like to check women by 6 weeks, 8 weeks. We get to know, how much are those abdominals coming back together and what's that resting state. Now, the way that we check it is how many fingers can you place in between the two sides of your muscle belly. So you have one side of your muscle and then the other side, and then you're going to take your fingers and be going down the midline of your belly. If you have about 1 finger wide, you'll feel that you can place just 1 finger in between the two ridges of your six-pack muscle. And then obviously the wider it gets, the more fingers you're going to be able to place in between the two sides. It's normally biggest at your belly button just because there's already a disturbance to your connective tissue there. I would say the second place that it's biggest is up above the belly button. It has to do with how you carried your baby, what your genetics are, how elastic are your tissues to rebound back together. I find that women that are smaller and more petite tend to have a bigger one because they just need to accommodate where that baby is going to go. Someone who goes into a pregnancy with really tight, strong muscles, those muscles can't stretch to accommodate the belly, so there might be more stretching in between that connective tissue right there. I found a correlation with moms who had a C-section in their first pregnancy where that midline has been disturbed by the surgery. Going into a second pregnancy or third pregnancy, that they have a higher chance of having a separation in through there. And then there's also some correlations with what kind of exercise did you do during pregnancy and things like that. So not all women are getting this checked by their birth professionals, and they're jumping back into exercise that might not be appropriate for them, and not all fitness professionals are checking this. And it's really, really important, mamas, that you take inventory of your body and that you're an advocate for your body so that you know what exercises are safe for you to do. And unfortunately, you can't count on that other people leading a class or something like that are going to be teaching you something that's okay for your body. So you need to get to know what's happening here. All right. So I'm going to lie down and show you how to do this. Again, the way that you're looking is you're going to be having your fingers go down through here. The two things you're going to look for is how many fingers can I fit in between that separation, and then how deep does it feel? Does it feel like my fingers can just keep going and going into my abdominal cavity? Or does it feel like there's a floor to the separation, or a little trampoline at the bottom of my fingers? It's better to feel that floor because that means even if there is a separation, that there's some stability underneath it, versus if you feel like you could just keep going, that really tells you that you're not stabilized underneath that. If you do find a separation, this can have implications into how your body might feel now or might feel later, because you've lost some important connections that stabilize your spine and your pelvis. Okay, so I'll lie down here. Again, you want to get on your skin. So I'm going to lift this up. Okay, so again, my fingers are in this orientation. You are going to lift up your head and shoulders. And when you do that, I just want you to first look at your belly. What's happening? Is there a big dome coming up through here? Do you see some doming or some bulging out towards the midline? Okay, if you do see that, that tells you that definitely there is some weakness in the connections of your tissues in your midline. Okay, so you lift up, you take your fingers, and you're just going to start feeling all the way down the midline of your body, taking inventory. How many fingers can I fit in there? Does it feel like my fingers can keep going? Do I feel a little floor, a little trampoline at the bottom? And just get to know what's going on in through there. It might feel squishy. It might feel shocking to you if you haven't touched your postpartum belly yet, but again, don't be scared of it. It's really important for you to know what's going on for yourself and through there. Okay, so that's how you check. It's pretty simple and straightforward on how to check. And then once you find out what your separation is and you need to address it. So if you feel like your fingers could keep going, or you had a separation of 2 fingers or more, that is a good sign that you need to do a little bit more care in order to protect and stabilize your body before you go and do other types of exercises, because there are going to be things that are big no-nos for you, like crunches or sit-ups or a flat back position, which can make your separation worse. All right, so that's your screen on how to check for abdominal separation. If you have any questions or comments, or you want to contact me about working with me personally to get rid of that separation and help resolve the stability in your belly, feel free to reach out to me on my website, my Facebook page, or by email. Okay, thanks.